Sorry about that. I was messing with the mic. Hey, what's up? This is Lucid. I've got some major updates I'm going to do to the map, and I'm going to kind of do that. I think I want to. There's some things I want to show because like updating maps actually is really hard. Because it was one of the things I realized as I started converting the image to a map, that like the order of operations in which you do things is going to be really important. And I hope the music's not too loud for you guys. I just want to have something I'm listening to. And I had to take off again. Good music to put on this copyright-free shit. Anyway, what I realized is the order of operations is very important. And because really all Dominion sees, it doesn't really see the map. Really all it sees is these white pixels. And if you go and add white pixels, like how does the game know that you've taken this white pixel and scooted it down here and it's now a different province, and this white pixel up here is the original province? It's a good question. It doesn't have any idea. So when you move these white pixels around, it fucks up the whole game, or like the whole map. And so I was really careful about not putting in any of the white pixels until it was like really late in the game. I mean, really late in development. So, but anyway, we've got our first multiplayer game started. And I think some other people are about to start some, and maybe have started others. And the version we're playing on for our multiplayer, I think, is going to be like perfectly fine. But there are some balance kind of suggestions coming in, and I'm just, rather than waiting to the end of the game, if I think it's a good suggestion, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate them now, so that those who start games with it sooner, I think, will have a better map. I'm going to go ahead and get in chat if any of y'all want to comment. But one second. But yeah, so I've been doing it. So the things that I've done so far, and they're going to seem kind of small, but one thing was this province here was the underwater start for this lake. And the problem is I think the land start was here. And so they shared this high value farmland, I think, or like large province right here that they were going to fight over. So having a mutual province in your cap border isn't ideal. Now, if you play a randomly generated Dominions map, or even some of the cartographic revision type maps, I think, that can still happen. And it's not really the end of the world, because you don't really share a cap circle, because, you know, these guys are going to have the whole lake, and you're going to have this, and it's not like you're really infringing on each other's expand that much. But I think it's not ideal. And so what I've done is I didn't, and I knew this would be an issue when I set this as the start province, but it was just the best of all the options I had when I had drawn out the provinces and set up the borders. So I think what I'm going to do, and this was, I think, Sakine's suggestion, is we're going to move the starting province from here to here. But to do it, I had to move this border, which was right here, down here, so that this province has enough connections that it's a decent underwater province. Because that was the main criteria why we selected this one, was it had enough connections. So anyway, I've done that, and I've reconnected this guy. The other change was that there's a start location right here. And this start location is a little crammed in. It didn't have a ton of connection provinces to start with. And then, like, this province, or this start position, which I think was the swamp here, maybe, or this one, they could get, like, 1, 2, 3. They could be here in 3 moves, which is kind of weird. So, what I basically did was I split this province in 2, and I split this province in 2. And that is going to slow movement down some, but not a ton, because, like, you can still go boom, 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 boom. But anyway, these capitals are far enough apart. And, like, look, everybody's capital on this map, it's, like, very cozy. So you definitely run into your neighbors pretty soon. But this at least puts a little more territory over here for this start position, which I think had it maybe a little too rough. We might come back and look at this one. This doesn't need any changes in the actual map itself. But this is probably one of the ones we'll look at. And then I have a long list of user-submitted. A lot of the user-submitted changes I've been doing real-time, but I just got like a huge bucket load of them in the past couple days. So, and a lot of them are really small, like a typo or something in the province title, or some people are probably like, hey, this looks like a forest, but you didn't make it a forest. And some of those we're not going to do because I do want to have like a fair number of planes. And just how I was doing the map generation, like when I was making all this, I kind of just did like what I think a landscape would look like, not really like thinking too hard about, okay, this is going to be a province. So if it has a little bit of wood, it doesn't mean it's going to be a province. But I may at some point, and this is not an objective for this update session, but at some point I might add some markers that are going to indicate, okay, this is a plains, like this is a farmland. And I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to think on it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want it to have like cartoony graphics. I kind of want it to look like it does, but I want to give some indicator so that you don't have to like click on every province to know what it is. But like you can kind of tell this may not be wooded. Because, like, there's some woods, but there's also a lot of plains. But, like, these are definitely going to be forests. And that's a swamp. Anyway. What I'm doing right now is I'm cycling back and forth to add... I think I just added this dot. So what I have to do, I'll show you the process for this. Because this was really confusing to me when I did it. But basically, what you have to do... I'm adding... What I did first was I took... this was one province, and it had a dot right here. I took out this dot. And there's a way you do it, I'll show you in a second. And then there was a... This was this was one province, and there was a dot here, and I took out this dot. And I did those... I think I did them one at a time. I took out this one, I saved it. And then you come to Photoshop, and you actually remove the dot in Photoshop. Then you open the map back up with the dot removed, and I took this dot out. And it's like an extremely finicky process. And I think I tried doing them both at once, and it kind of crapped itself. So, and then I came... Anyway, I'll show you now rather than just talking about it, so... Because we're going to do it for one of them. And then I've got backups of this, because, like... It is shitting itself right now. If I do one thing wrong, it can all kind of be messed up. But I think that's actually, that makes it more important to record these kind of things, so that other people, if they're doing it, they can like actually understand how this works. Okay, so we added this one, but you can see the connections are all hosed up. And, like, it's actually going to hose up all these connections, too. Like, this is not the right connection, this is not the right... Like, all these things... everything has been all thrown off because I added one pixel right here. So this is kind of the beast we're dealing with. But what I do is I come down here and I click Province Inserted. And I had the province selected that I inserted. Now, its links are all hosed up, but everybody else's should now be fine. And these are so far looking... Oh, shit. Now, once I see one thing, I'm going to have to go back in time, because if things like this start looking messed up after I do that, or whichever one, then what that basically means is I'm going to have to recheck every single province, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not going to save this. And we're going to quit. And I'm going to go back and get it to a working state here. Okay, we took this one out. That was the change we made. So let's go back and save it. See if we can navigate our way through this craziness. Save complete. And we're going to pull this up. Okay, we want to make sure we're on the most... I think B is the one I'm editing from right now. I put it on that first one once I know it's working. Like, so right now, everything should be working. Yeah, and this looks a little funky, but that's right. Though honestly, this probably wouldn't mind getting split up somehow. But yeah, okay, all these are right, and if we look at some of these funky... Oh shit, this one was funky even before. Okay. Okay, game. I'm actually going to have to go through and check some of these. Okay, we're going to do it as best I can, and then I'm going to have to go through and do Province 1, Province 2. I hate doing that, and I end up missing stuff. I'm like a really bad checker. Part of it is I just get distracted, and it's really hard for me to focus on like really stupid details, like let's go to every single province and check every border. After like 99% of them are right, and you have to find like the 1% that are wrong. Okay, so anyway, we've done this. We need to add this back. So we're going to save because we've gotten rid of some of those shenanigans with... Let's just check all the borders. It seems it's kind of screwing up the border provinces nearby. Okay, this seems fine. So we're going to go ahead and save it as this one, the B. And then we're going to exit. And it's kind of important you quit between these. And then we're going to come here and we're going to add a little boop. And then we're going to save as, and here we go. And this is the process for adding provinces. So when somebody's like, hey, we need to change the shape of a province or split a province or add one, it is a huge pain in the ass to fix, unlike a lot of other things, which are kind of easy. That's why I've really been avoiding doing province adding type of stuff. But I think these ones are actually kind of needed. So we've added one here. Did I not save it right? Oh, maybe I didn't click the right thing. Okay, I saved it as this. I have to actually click on this. Oh, and then I didn't click this. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now we've got this one, and so we're just going to click province inserted. Excellent. And now it should be all hosed up. But that's mostly okay because we can delete all your connections. You guys should all be okay. Things are looking extremely sane, which is what we want, because I think everybody could see how janky it gets. Okay, so now we just have to give you connections, so you're getting a connection here and here. Wait, why can't y'all connect? Okay, we'll just have to remember to come back and connect you later. Okay, and then we're going to exit out. And then we're going to come here and do a dot. And then we're going to save as. Okay. And then here we come back up. We've got some kind of interesting changes to put in after this, and I've got a few more provinces we're going to rename. But I do want to get some, even though this is painful, I do want to get some of this just out there on the internet so people know how to do it. It's kind of weird too, you think about like information dissemination, like I figured this out, and I mean other people figured it out before me, but I didn't know how to do it. But like once enough of you guys just ambiently absorb it, and then somebody asks a question on the forums or something, then y'all can like percolate it to them. It's like kind of like once knowledge has a critical mass in society, it is generally available. Okay. Did I fuck up anything else? Okay, can you guys... Why the fuck won't y'all connect? This is really weird. I've never seen this bug before. Okay, we're gonna actually have to maybe come in here and look at this province name. Some weird shit is going on. Okay, this is 184 or 148. Okay. Okay. Arch Kronos Crag. I don't really want to be in the province border business here. You get to the section where they do the links. Okay. So these are in order. And you can see 148's like completely missing. I wonder if it has to do with the borders. The fact these things... okay, let's actually check that. Well, we'll get the last one added in. Where should we put the... kind of like have it nestled right there in the little hill. Because this will be where the flag pops out from. Okay, so now we've added the last one of these. And now we just have to figure out what the hell is going on. Somebody said hello. 148 and 149 are the same name. Yeah, they can't have the same name. We'll fix it. When you add it, it like just copies it from like one of its neighbors. It's kind of weird. Thanks for pointing that out, though. I'm not sure if I like thought about the fact that I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna save it there. Save, and then fire up Dominions. But I wanted the naming and stuff we'll do a little bit later, because if it doesn't, you never know when it's going to just completely pitch a fit. Okay. So we added one more, so that means we have to come over here. We select the one we just added, which is this one, which is all janky. And then, but you can see it's made everything janky. Right? And this is the nightmare that you want to avoid. So anyway, we select the one and we just do province inserted. And it should know now. It should be like, oh, okay. So weird it's not connecting. We'll connect it where we can to things we know we connect to. Okay. This might be a candidate for... No, there's like shoreline. The extremely odd mountain connection to the ocean like we have down here. This one has like 3 mountain connections coming out of it because there's only like cliffs. Actually, this one probably... There's like a little bank here. This probably shouldn't be a mountain connection. Should make that one a normal one. But it'll have mountain connections coming down here. This one too. Like you can come in through here. But the idea is these are like cliff faces going over the ocean, so you can't really walk from there unless you've got mountain survival or it's like the right time of year. Okay, so we've done these. Now the question is, why aren't these going? And I have a speculation. And my speculation is that it actually has to do with the fact that these borders are now all hosed up. No, that probably isn't right. Before I do these, I want to get this figured out. I was thinking they all... Okay, we'll give everybody a little bit of border first. Right, so that... Okay. You get a little border. You get a little border. Let's just make sure the border is not completely the issue. You get a little border. Okay. And then... I don't think that's going to fix anything. Oh. Maybe it did. Maybe everybody just needed a little bit of border love. How about that? I can now click on connections. Okay. Well, that's good. So now that means we can move on to phase 2 of this, adding provinces. You can see all I'm trying to do was just split provinces in two, and it's already taken me like 45 minutes. Because there's a lot I was doing before I didn't record it, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So, okay, the next task is we have to redo the borders. And I didn't want to do that if I was going to have to redo the dots, but the dots are in now. Let's go ahead and save it. We'll save it as this, because this actually seems to be working. And now we're going to do the borders. So for the borders, for those of y'all who missed the first fun installment, the issue... Oh, shit. The issue is that... you actually kind of have to overwrite. You can see I'm not doing a very close job here, and that's because you have to get rid of all the negative space, or you'll have like stranded pixels. So there's not much point in trying to get it perfect here. In fact, it's kind of counterproductive. So we're just gonna have to come in and do it anyway. So we're gonna just do this very rough painting with all of the provinces here. And then when we're done, we'll come in and we'll actually do the neighbors, and we'll push back into the provinces that we just kind of poured paint down on. You can see how it's kind of weird. It almost looks like the paintbrush is lagging because it's just doing it at like whatever interval. This smart filler thing is kind of hilarious, but in my opinion, it doesn't work well at all. It's kind of like they had this idea and they're like, oh, this is cool. And maybe it gets used in the algorithm somehow when they're doing like the border fill from, like if you load in a border file, which I did. But maybe it is partially used for that. I'll just kind of straighten you out a little bit. Bring you up, finish here. But I'll just show it to you really fast. It's kind of weird. Look at it. It like grows outwards. It's like a microbial creeping thing. But I can't really see. It doesn't appear to really care about the underlying color beneath. Like it doesn't look at it. It doesn't really like follow the color gradients very much underneath it. It just kind of percolates outwards in a very creepy way. But I don't really think that's what I would want to do for this anyway. Okay, something like so. And then here, we're going to take this one. We only got a few more of these to do. I do have to adjust the border on that ocean province down there too while we're at it. But the list of all the things I have to do, there's some provinces that need to be renamed. There's a few people that I need to find provinces for that I didn't kind of do shout outs to that I really want to do. And there's still a few spots. If some of you in the comments want a province named after you, you can throw it out. We can probably find like 3 or 4 more spots in addition to the people I've kind of like lined up to put stuff in for. So we've got to do that. And then let's see. The special guard for the candles. Somebody had some pretty good feedback on some changes I need to make to them. So we're going to do that. How did this province get deleted? If I deleted that province, I definitely didn't mean to. It's going to be a lot of borders to redo. But I've got like my workflow down and everything. Okay. Let's see if the smart filler works like... Okay, what it does do is it doesn't want to really creep into the other provinces very much. But it kind of does, and it does it enough where it's annoying where I would never really use it, but it's a kind of cool idea. It does, so it doesn't care about the underlying background, but it does care about what borders already exist. Okay, and then we'll fill you in. Actually, probably get the 50 tool here. Like so. And then for you, it's 20. Okay, we gotta get the border. But it's kind of cool. It's one of the things too, like I knew when I released it that there were going to be some bugs. But it's kind of one of those interesting things. I think it's like you put it out there, and as long as you put it out good enough so that it's playable at the beginning, and you fix the bugs really fast, I think that's the best way to have like the best product. And I think that's how games work. Like if you release it where it's such a clusterfuck at the beginning that like you can't even play it, then like that was a mistake. But at the same time, and that, I mean, that's why you have like beta and alpha testing and stuff too, but still like you're never really gonna know until the game releases. So at some point you have to get it good enough, and then you have to put it out there, but then you have to just be ready to fix everything really fast. Okay, so I think we're gonna do the outer provinces first. And then we're going to come in and clean up the borders from the inside. Okay. I find this 5 tool is pretty good. The 3 tool I almost never use. And the 10 tool is pretty good, but a lot of times it's too big for the detail work. But the 3 tool is actually kind of worse for detail work too. It ends up not giving you very smooth edges, oddly enough. It ends up giving you these like really pixely edges. Okay. Okay, so that's alright. We've got this province border established with both these. We'll go ahead and do this one next. Maybe do 10 for this. That's pretty smooth. And the thing is, like, how you do these province borders, it ends up kind of mattering a lot in game. I still don't even love the way it looks. And I spend a lot of time trying to get it pretty good. Like, these little 1 pixel off things, they end up kind of showing up in the Dominion. Let's bring it just like that. Okay. Then from below, we'll push up here. I think we'll get like the 10 tool to start. And then 5. I hope I don't have to do this too many more times. Oh, you can just split the province. It will be easy, they said. Now that we've got to fix this purple border all the way down here too. So we'll probably just kind of go ahead and do that. Okay. Here we go. Got some people commenting. Let's see what y'all said. Dark Seraphim. I vote for a province called Old Smith's Glade. Alright. I'll toss out the request for a mountain province named the Gray Spine. Alright. The mountains tend to kind of get... I don't know if we'll be able to find a mountain province, but we'll try. For whatever reason, I think the mountain provinces kind of get named a little faster. But we'll give it the old British go. Thank y'all for throwing out those suggestions, though. We will put them in. Well, we're definitely going to have at least one mountain province, because I split a mountain into 2, so that will generate at least one. So we should be okay for that. Okay, and then... Okay, and then we'll just trim up these edges right here a tiny bit. Okay, this one's looking pretty sharp. These corners are looking pretty good. Maybe not perfect. Whoops. You have to worry about the little 1 pixel rogues in there. I think that's okay. That's okay. This all looks okay. Okay, we're getting there. Let's do this part first. Okay. But yeah, it's actually really cool playing on it. I think we're on turn 8 now for my first game on this map. And I think some of the things that feel different on it so far, like obviously nobody's in the candle system yet, is like, it does feel more connected. Like, there's more ways to get wherever you're going. Which, in some ways, it makes it harder to like perfectly cordon off expansion. So like if there's a lower degree of connectivity, you can like, kind of like play Snake and trace out where you're gonna like encircle provinces. But if there's more connectivity, it's actually harder. Shit, it's actually harder to do that. So that is one thing I've kind of noticed. But I think that it's actually going to be interesting. I think it's going to, the map is going to feel a lot smaller in the late game. Like nothing's going to be terribly far away. I think it's going to open up throne rush strategies a lot more, because you don't necessarily have to conquer the world to be, you know, in 2 province range of thrones, which I think that's actually okay. Because, like, the game dragging on for forever, nobody likes. So that's kind of cool. The only downside of it is it's not always going to be obvious, like, that it's coming. People will have to, like, be smart. Be like, oh, he's got this candle. He could potentially get from here to here to here and then win. And I'm not really a throne rusher myself. I almost never do it. I normally just win through just brute force. So I don't know if that probably won't help me. Okay, and then here. Can you imagine if I had to do every single province by hand for the borders? Okay, we'll smooth you out here. Okay, what's left to do? We've got this border done, this border done. We have to finish up all this province borders. And this province. So we have 2 provinces left to really do. Oh no, 3. Shit, we've only done like... Oh my god. How is that possible? How have we done so little? It is pretty, though. It is fun playing on a pretty map. I haven't played on a pretty map in a long-ass time. I've been, like, cartographic revision and aids for forever. And I used to never play... I mean, God, those are at least more pretty, I think, than the Dominions map generator. Which, by the way, was not only ugly looking, but it was also really poorly balanced. But... I am glad to go back to a map that looks good. I hope it, and that's why I'm really gonna be continuing to update it. It's because in order for it to be balanced, I think I'm gonna have to incorporate a fair amount of feedback from people that play on it. And it's one of those things you can't make everybody happy. And I'm going to exercise judgment on what I think actually needs to be fixed rather than like completely listening. But so far, people have had really good feedback, and I've been incorporating most of the things people say. Even if like some of the times at first I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like this thing with the ocean, somebody was like, well, you know, our caps share a cap circle over down here. They're like, oh, this is a starting province and this is a starting province. This is ocean, this is land. We share a cap circle. That's not really fair. I was like, well, I mean, come on, guys. Like, whatever. You're ocean, you're land. They're like, well, but they're both really going to want this province. And I'm like, yeah. But ultimately, I'm like, well, it would be better if they didn't share it. So we ended up splitting this one in 2. Oh my god. It, like, did it correctly. What the fuck? Oh no, I didn't split it. It's the same one. I have to move this border. I didn't split it in 2. I moved this border so that this one had more connectivity because it connects to here. So I've got to come in and fix that. We'll do that later, though. Not get too distracted. But ultimately, I basically caved. I was like, okay, you're right. It would be better. But some changes are really easy to make. Like if it's just changing a province name or a terrain type, those are super easy to make. If it's coming in here and like moving a border, you can see this takes time. But I'm clearly not letting that be an obstacle to do it. But I will make sure it is something I want to do before I do a change like that. Let's get this border clean up. Okay, and then for the green. Oh. See, this is 3. It's like really jaggedy. I think I have to switch to 5. Smooth it out a little. Okay, that's all right. Back to you. You know, honestly, some of the things, like actually changing the way the map looks, is sometimes easier than doing this border shit. Somebody was like, hey, I really want to have a house on this province. That would in some ways be easier than coming in and doing that. Doing this. Because I don't have to change borders if I had a house in general. Okay, that's actually not the direction I want to go. Like so. Like so. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We've got bottom border, side border here, and we're done with this part. And then we'll get to go into the more fun stuff. Oh, more chat comments. Not really keeping up. All right. So how many provinces are on the map? I think it's like 178 or something like that. Not just winning through brute force. I'm almost done watching your MALM game, and there's a very consistent, clever manipulation through diplomacy too. I mean, maybe. I lose the Ulm game, by the way. Sorry for the spoiler, but I don't finish the series, but that game was just intense. I think, honestly, yeah, I don't know. I've got strong feelings about that game. There were a lot of people who were kind of like new to the game, and they didn't necessarily play very well. And the problem was that the player who was good, like the relay player who had a lot of experience, or I don't know if he had a lot of experience. He was playing relay like a GD fiddle. I mean, he was good with relay. The problem was that he didn't need my thrones to win, and I was by far and away the hardest person for him to attack. So anyway, and I realized if I wasn't attacking him, then he would just eat somebody else and win the game. So I had to attack to keep him from eating somebody else. But I couldn't break. Relay is a really strong defensive nation, and then Astral is really good against MALM in the late game. So I could never break through his position. So I could never like cause damage to him. But I was basically just doing it to prevent him from winning. But all the other players could never make anything happen. Like, they could never attack him and make things happen. But I guess that's probably like way farther than the series is. Like, even then I stopped recording. Maybe I could just do like a couple episodes and explain how the game shook down, rather than just leave it completely dead. Because I do not want to go back. I think I've got like 60 more turns I would theoretically have to record. Going back in and recording like 60 turns of just painful fighting squid with like assassinations and mind hunt, and he ended up having a ton of tarts because he had a recuperation bless. But having to do that every single turn, or I mean having to do that for every single of the 60 turns, just be painful. I mean, you guys would probably enjoy it, but the thing is, it's hard for me to not even be salty when I'm talking about it. Like, getting wrecked by Relay is just a very painful experience. And in many ways, I won. Like, I didn't lose territory, I kind of gained territory, but I could never make a significant advancement, because every time I had to take, like, a real objective versus Relay, he would master and slave my army. And Middle-Age, or, like, Darkness and... like, Meteorite Guard in Darkness versus Ulm Infantry in Darkness, it's just a slaughterfest. And then he has magic weapons, I don't. Ulm actually has a lot of late-game weaknesses. Like, they don't have magic weapons, they don't have dark vision, they have bad MR, they have a bunch of things which actually make them suck in the late game. And I was kind of able to get around some of those, but not enough to decisively win. And then, of course, anything you want to do, everything has to be assassin-proof versus those GD Star Children. So, it's like doing anything requires this enormous planning and commitment if you want to take infrastructure. And then, like, because of that, he can just prepare, like, even if I'm economically ahead, he can just prepare, like, a few big armies that are going to do Master and Slave and Darkness and a bunch of other stuff. And I then can't use any of my troops. And the other problem with Ulm in the late game is that your mages, while Master Smiths are like one of the best mages in the game by themselves, they're not really great combat mages. Like, they're useful, they have things they can do, don't get me wrong, but if that's all your nation has, you are missing so much. And then that means everything else you want to do in combat, you have to do through summons. And that's really, really rough. I think if I knew what I knew now, going back, I might be able to do a better job. Because I think my appreciation of the late game is better than it was even like 8 months ago. But I still don't think I would have won. But it's hard to say. See what you guys are saying as I babble on about that. Puffin, the ocean start feels tense when the land start is pop kill from single player expansion tests. Did the squids grind you out in the Ulm game? Kind of a bad matchup. Yeah, it was a horrible matchup. I did not want to do it, but I knew if I didn't do it, I would have won. I mean, I would have lost immediately, and it was true. It was true. I mean, Relay would have just murdered every single other player on that map. But it kind of sucks when you're taking huge amounts of attrition just so other people don't fail and lose. Because, like, you don't get anything out of it. So, I don't know. The game was in like a stale state, basically, where for like 40 turns, the major boundaries between nations didn't really change. And we ended up having GC vote on who won. So I really should put it up, because I got GC to like record his verdict and stuff, which is pretty cool. He did a really good job with that. I mean, clearly the person wasn't me, as it shouldn't have been. Okay, wait, what the fuck? How did this one get uncolored? You fucking kidding me? Let's double check these borders. Okay, this isn't perfect. I did learn stuff that game though. And I think I didn't play Ulm completely correctly, but I had the middle game figured out. I did not have the late game figured out very well. And late game with Ulma is not great. I mean, as I was saying, but there's still things I could have done better, I think. Got to be fucking kidding me. How does this happen, game? Okay, forget. As much as I hate doing it, I've got to go over the borders pretty heavily. Otherwise, it's all going to get hosed up. This is the problem. Like, coming at... Like, I'm sure this was... I'm not sure. I do not think this was an issue. Before, but now I came in and I edited one thing, and then it throws... It wonkifies a bunch of stuff that I didn't really affect. But I'm sure there are other people who know how to do this a little bit better, and maybe there's some shortcuts I could have done to do the whole splitting a province in two, like moving both flags, that would have made it where I don't have to do all this, like, but also maybe not. There's also one really annoying feature in the game, weird, where every time, like all the special units I put in for the candles, those all disappear every time I save the map. So I have to go into the notepad every time after I save it and I upload a new version. I have to go in, like after I use this tool and I save it, I have to go in and then copy and paste those files from an older version, like where I've done the editing of the commanders. I have to go copy and paste that in. Okay. Like so. Nice. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the early game was fun. Killing Scalaria was a lot of fun. Honestly, I think... The other thing, too, I went to save relay. I don't know about my timing on that. Because I knew it was a bad matchup at the start. It may have been the best call was to eat another weak neighbor. Like, I could have eaten... Any of my other neighbors, I would have won that war. Like, pretty decisively. But I was worried relay was going to eat Bandar Log and win the game. And the person who plays Bandar Log now has a fair amount of experience with Dominions, but at the time they had basically none. And so it was just going to be a complete massacre. So I was really worried. And like once that started happening, it's relay. So like getting them out of a throne that they have with all those assassins is so hard. Like getting them out of an underwater throne that they already have, I mean, you can forget about it. So, I don't know. It was a weird situation. But I'm glad you enjoyed the series. I kind of hate not recording it to the end, but God, especially if I'm making mistakes and losing or whatever. And a lot of times I try to keep up, but if I can't keep up with the game, like in terms of when I record it, then it's really hard to make myself go back at the end and do it. Like, even for games I win, it's still really hard. Like, finishing that Lemuria series, oh, that was hard. The other thing is, I know the quality of, like, the videos isn't as good, too, because, like, I don't remember everything, and I'm kind of giving you, like, a high-level summary instead of, like, the drama that I was really experiencing at the time. Because it's like the like nuts and bolts of like, oh, this is what happened. That's not like really what it's like when you're there in the moment. It's like much bigger highs and lows, which I think are one of the really cool cool parts of Dominions. Here we go. Okay, we're almost done adding this province back in. One thing we need to check is we can select the void province or the null province, the province with nothing in it. And we need to make sure that that doesn't have any little bugaboos hiding out somewhere. Okay. So what we're going to do that is I just hit 0 on my keyboard, and it'll show me these. You know what I also want to do? And fuck it, we're going to do it. Well, I don't know. We'll do this in the next version. I'm going to make these whole candles. I'm going to make the entire candle part of the province. Like, these are going to get carved up like that somehow. I'm not sure how I'll do it, but I'll have to change the province lines. I kind of want to get this version out with balanced stuff. This is going to be purely cosmetic, but I want to do that because it looks really bad like this in the winter. I was thinking like when the map went winter, these whole candles would go winter, and then this part would be winter on top of it if you could see it, but that's not really quite how it works. But anyway, I think the void provinces are now where they're supposed to be. I don't see any in the middle of the map. Yeah, okay. So that's good. So we're going to go ahead and save this. The only other change I have to make is right here. Which we'll go ahead and color them all. So you're basically just going to come here and... I guess it opens it up to this land province too. I didn't really think about that. It's probably okay. This isn't really a start position. The other thing that I have plans for too is once this once we have a few multiplayer games finished with this, which I think is kind of going to be the criteria for really getting most of the balance feedback, or little mistakes. Because, yeah, once I have all that, and I think the game is basically done, or not the game, the map, I don't really think there's going to be any significant more feedback. I'm going to go ahead and make different versions of it. I'm going to make a version with, maybe more customized for late age, where some of these are island starts. Because right now, people can get it, and very quickly they can, change the start positions. Changing the start positions isn't hard. But what's hard is when I need to change all of them every single time I do a version update. Because I'd have to maintain different copies of the same thing. And then as I change it, I have to change all the copies by hand. Oh wait, I'm doing this wrong. Fuck. I can't even go back. This is supposed to be this color. So anyway, yeah, there's going to be a no fixed start version. And then there's probably going to be a version where there's a late age where there's not as many aquatic starts. You have more island starts. Okay, I forgot. Let's not be idiots. We actually have to overwrite the edges here. Otherwise, I'm going to have pixel garbage. Hate doing it, but... Okay. So, like so. Yeah, now we just fix it. Okay. You could do a couple episode wrap up like the Bandarlog series, like just lose some of the recordings. Yeah, I think I might do that. The thing, I think to do it properly though for the Ulm series, I need to go back and like find some of the key battles. And that actually might be kind of fun. Some of those were pretty epic. God, like one of them, he assassinated my anti-magic caster. And because of that, he like nailed these huge master and slaves, and it just ruined my army. And then like after I had lost my Ulm army to like darkness and master and slave a few times, I was like, fuck it. I'm not bringing another, like I cannot bring, like Ulm troops are a liability on the battlefield. I can't bring any of them. And so then like I built up an army of like storm demons and other shit because I had broken into blood. Which Asime Ulm, like having a real blood economy where you're like fielding armies of storm demons, like that's not easy to do. But anyway, I had done it, and I bring that back, and he again kills the anti-magic caster with assassins, and I was like, oh my god. And yeah, after that I was like, okay, you can't take any of my shit, because the second he would come on top of me, I would nuke him with like Murdering Winter and Flames from the Sky and a bunch of other stuff. And I was raiding the shit out of him. So he was like very much hemmed in, but like we couldn't make moves on each other. So it's like, okay, I'm ready to concede. Okay, that is done. Here we go. Now we get to do the fun part. So, coming back here, let's make the connections right. You're connected here, 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 here. Good. You're connected here, 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 here. Good. Over here, let's double check these again. All the provinces around here. Connections seem right. Connections seem right. This looks good. Okay. So that is good. That is good. Okay, let's go ahead and do some of these name suggestions. So how did it keep some of these names? Wait, where's Archkronos Crag? Because I deleted this. How did it remember and put it back in? Eternal Blitz. Oh, one of the other things I had wrong was a throne location. I actually put a throne location in this guy's cap circle. This probably needs to get moved. Throne locations are pretty important. So where would this one go? I feel like it needs to be here, but my question is if we put it... What is it? This is large. If we put it here, you can still expand up, but you can't expand quickly. This actually, I think, is an okay place for Throne Province. That's good. It's not anybody's cap circle now. These H's are they're not really H's, they're castles, they're the cap circles. So, okay, Archkronos Peak. This one's Salty Inns. I feel like these are duplicate names of something. Because there's no way these were both things, because these were separate. Okay, here's Salty Inns. I swear to God, there must be one. Archkronos Crag. These are both duplicates. Okay, so... Let's go back to the names you guys were suggesting. So for one of them, it was the gray spine. That can be this one. I need to go back and look at my, like, what I'm deleting here, because we may actually need to put this in. I'm actually going to do that right now. Save map. Just see what these things were. Oh, it crashed. Let me see what files I actually have in here. Let's just extract this in here. Then we'll come back in here, pop you open. It's a good chance those things had some kind of cool names, and I want to preserve some of them as best I can. Map editor. You serious? Just drop that in there. Okay, this should be the unedited version. So like here you can see how this border used to be, and then I just slid this thing down. Okay, what were these provinces? This was Jungle Munchies, which is not... Okay, this was Illwinter Slopes, so we do want to keep some of that. So we got rid of Jungle Munchies and Illwinter Slopes. So let's put Illwinter Slopes back in. I think this can be the gray spine. And I think this can be Illwinter Slopes. Okay, these were Jungle Munchies. Okay, what should we name this? Somebody said something with a glade. Let's do that because we've got forests here. Old Smith's Glade. This is going to be a... We've got plenty of wastelands around here. Let's do... Large Cave Forest. The large will make this decent. Otherwise, Cave Forest is going to make this just pretty much a worthless province. And then here, that's not going to be the sea. It's going to be a forest. Okay, large cave forest, no start. And this is just a forest. At this position, okay, this is a large cave farm. 1 second. So large, this is just the normal plains. This is a large, oh, this isn't large, this is just a farm. This is a small province. This is kind of a dick punch for this pop. Okay. I don't think this one will be large though. This one will be large, this one will be large. I don't think we need more caves over here. This will be highlands. This can be large. This can be a mountain. This should not be a waste. Okay, so I think that is mostly right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Other players weren't amenable to the alliance against Relay as that map's big bad. They were. Like, Bandar Log was allied against them, but it was a mix of, I think, most of the other people on the map being like, by the time we got to that phase, like, we're like inexperienced. Like, Abyssia didn't do anything the whole game. He just sat there literally the whole game. Bandar Log was inexperienced, but tried. And then when it wasn't working, he basically just sat there too. And so then it was me. I knew if I took the pressure off Relay, because Bandar Log was at war with Relay. If I took the pressure off Relay, then he would eat Bandar. And I was trying to kick Relay off land, which was, I think, a reasonable goal. But I never accomplished it. And nobody else was really getting anything done against him. But Bandar, while he was sitting there doing nothing, he was also building up like a huge economy. Like forting and casting Wish and stuff. So he was in a pretty good position by the end of the game, even though he never really won many big battles with it. Okay. Are there any interesting things that happened in that war you would want to show? Yeah, I mean, some of the battles are really cool. And then there was a lot of, like, Tartarian. He was raiding me with tarts, and I was trying to kill them. And there was some kind of fun stuff. Okay, what else? Okay, I think that's it for the comments. So, okay, wait, we need to name these two. Salty, and these are both canned name, or like from other provinces. So one of these is going to be Old Smith. This one is going to be we'll do Old Smith Caverns. Or wait, did you say Glaives? Old Smith Glaive. Okay, this one's gonna be Old Smith Glade. Is it plural? And then this one, we'll call this Forest of the Lost. Oh wait, no, I've got a shout out I need to do. So let me pull up my little shout out list. I'm gonna do it on my phone. So this one is going to be, I think, to Wellesley, who gave some good feedback on the Steam Workshop. And let's see. We'll do Wellesley's Lost Forest. And this will be a forest cave. So we've now named both of these, good. And we're gonna do the Steam Workshop feedback first. So let me pull that up real quick. I'm gonna do it on my phone. I'll just read it to you guys. At Province 5, you have a typo. So let's go to Province 5. Okay, yeah, I think I have misspelled this. So I have a U and it should be an I. Luigi me. I think that is correct. Okay. And then let's go back to the workshop. Okay, so we have some more feedback here. Maybe we'll pull it up here. Yeah, if y'all want to get the map, by the way, you can get it on the workshop. When I'm done, I'll update I update this and I update the Google Drive link every time I roll a new version. So here's a province I misspelled. Some things that come to my attention. It seems 131, 24, and 34 are missing the swamp flag. Now, there's a good chance I won't actually change this, but we'll look at each of them. 131, 124, and 53. 131. Yeah, okay, this should be a swamp, probably. Okay. And what were the other ones? I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. 124 and 53. 124. Yeah, okay, that should be a swamp. That should be a swamp too. Okay, good catch. Okay. Feedback incorporated. Thank you, sir. This position, too, is a little weird. You've got a lot of low-income places around it. This actually is my starting position in the game. Changing it here, obviously, is not going to affect the current game I'm in, since it will be a different map and a different version. But I do think it probably could use something. Maybe just ticking this up to large would be... Well, no. Honestly, this one doesn't need to be a wasteland. I think there's already plenty enough waste. Wait, cave, waste, waste. I think 2 waste is too tough. Let's just get rid of this. There's nothing that says it's to waste. It could totally be a plains. So I think we'll just make it a plains. It's like, this is just like swamp, waste, 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 cave, swamp. It's a shitty start. Swamp. I think it probably still needs a little bit more income. And, yeah, it probably could use a large province here. Like a large forest, maybe? This will be like 8,000 or 9,000 population rather than like 4 or 5. Over here, we fixed the cap circle issue, but this province was having, or this start position was a little bit the same, where it's like swamp, waste. But they've got mountain, plains. I don't know, they've got a lot of places they can go to. I actually don't really buy this as a bad start. I think this is a fine start, especially once we move that throne location. Yeah, I kind of looked at them. I guess this one was the only one that these two I think were kind of rough. This one appears to be pretty good. There's kind of 2 wastes over here, which sucks, but there's not a lot of swamps. There's 1 swamp. There's a lot of plains, though. A couple mountains. Is there a good farm? This is like a really good farmland, too. So, okay. That's that. Now, I'm going to pull up in Discord where I got some other feedback. So, let's go pull that up. I'm going to pull that up on my phone so I don't flip back and forth. So this is from, actually, that guy who we found the Leguamimi, or however you say it, Luigi Amimi. But anyway, he left me this long list of feedback. I guess he's made some maps before. Part of this is on the map, the province defenders. We're going to skip that part for now, because I do that outside of the editor. Let's see if there's anything. I thought he had some for the map itself. So he was saying many site tags on the big candles. I think they're already going to be contentious, and they're already wastes, but I guess we could do no mini site. I don't know. I don't want it to be like... I think they're already enough of a superpower. We can make them large, so that'll actually help fix some of the supply issues. Because right now the troops in it tend to starve. I had to put bags of wine on them so they wouldn't starve. But we'll do this, and that will hopefully help a little bit. It'll make them a little bit more valuable. I don't know if it affects site proc chances, but... yeah, I think it's just population. But, I mean, it'll make them a tiny bit more valuable, and it's also going to make the people in it starve a little less, I think. So anyway, that was one of his suggestions, was to make them mini sites, but I don't actually want to over-increase the value of those. Okay, he said something about the name, about giving experience. Okay, so I think that's it. Now we're gonna go out. I've got my own other list, so I've got like multiple lists of things I need to do. Okay, so we've done this. We've gotten the throne next to the cap. Okay, that I think we fixed. The split Western Lake into... okay, we didn't actually split it. We just moved it and changed a border, but that's fixed. .166 is this start location here. Or, well, I guess the province number shifted around a little, but it was 166. But yeah, they had a very shitty expansion, so we split this up. We split 2 provinces in 2, which will give them more. So that's done. Okay, this is still to do. Winterize the full candle borders. Okay, I have some people we're going to add. Done, done. More bodyguards, we need to do that. We're going to do all the bodyguard editing in the text document in a second. And then I'm going to give Mandar B. Max a province here. I don't think I gave him one, but it's possible I did and I forgot. So I'm just going to click around until I find one that's open. Sun's Menace. Soon's Menace. I don't think that was somebody's. I think this is... no, I think that actually was somebody. I think this was. That was one of my Patreon folks. I think. Maybe not. Because I can't remember if it was Soon Delise or however I can never say his name. But I don't know if that one was a shout out for him. Let's see if we can find a different one. I think this actually was not for Soon. I think I would have named it something else. So I think this will be, and I need to make sure I spell it right. Mandar B. Max. The Mandar Palace. I don't like putting, if people have a name that isn't like a word, it sounds like a username. I don't want to put I don't want to put like a username in here. If it sounds like somebody's name, I can do the name. But like, I'm not going to do, Mandar B. Max doesn't sound like a name. So we're just going to do this one like Mandar's Palace. And some things like this, I've been putting apostrophes everywhere. So if I catch a little thing like that. Dragon Dream Catcher. I think that is about it. Let me pull up. I think this is where let me actually go back to the workshop real quick. And then people who've done shout-outs. Like, Jake the Snake isn't here. Let's see if there's a swamp I haven't named. Grievel's Bog. Bloex Laboratories. Plumpket's Plan. Maryland's Mangroves. Grimpen Mire. Nuclear Monkey Jungles. Eodor. Kepria. I think that's a shout out. Kind of run out of space. I cannot believe we filled this up with like people's names. I'm actually really shocked. Okay, well I can probably find some other way to do it. Okay, this one. I don't like the sound of Jake's Snake Forest. We'll just do it Snake Forest. This is a shout out for you though, Jake the Snake. Stellan also gave some good feedback. Let's see if we can get Stellan in here. Salty Ends. Just looking for those vanilla names. Escutia. That is a vanilla name if I've ever seen it. Alright. I think this is how I spell it. Let's make sure I spell that right. I'm horrible with spelling. Lagoon. Okay, I did. We'll just do Stillin's Lagoon. This one we could name too. I'm gonna name this after somebody in chat. Puffin. Yeah, I miss Monkey's VODs too. Monkey was very, very entertaining to listen to. Alright. What should we do this one? Puffins. Puddle. And then Dark Seraphim. Let's get yours in here somewhere too. This one is a default name. Seraph Plains. I think that sounds better than Seraphim Plains. Especially since this is a unit in Dominions, but people won't even know it's a shout out to you, buddy. Alright. I think that is mostly it for the map changes. So we have done it. There's a few things I need to do now that we have fixed it. So one is I'm going to save it here. Now, if you're ever doing your own map, one thing you will realize is that the map itself here I get rid of some of this garbage. The map file itself... Here, one second. I've got to open up... Oh, wait, no, it was 6. This one should have all the junk at the bottom. All this stuff here where you put the units in, the special province section or whatever it's called. It basically all gets deleted every time you update the map in Dominions. So you have to come in here and copy it. And then I have to come back here. Edit. Okay, and so if I go to the bottom, even though it was working off that old map file that had it, it went and deleted everything. So I have to come back here and add this all in. So this is part of just fixing it, but I also have some stuff I need to do here with these commanders, based off some feedback I got. So, I'm going to pull it up because I've got it. It was actually Luigi Mimi's feedback here, so let me pull it up. So I'm just going to start at the top. Okay, so Wade Star. I'm doing it at the top of his feedback to me. So we're gonna need to pull up the mod inspector to complete this part of our challenge. Okay, so one of the units that Wade Star has is the Morgan Champion. So this one, the Cyclops Chieftain, he only has 20 leadership, so his guys have a morale penalty. But I have a feeling this Morgan Champion has pretty good leadership, and she does. So we're going to actually put them under her. I think we're going to take, not all of them, but I think we're going to, okay, we're going to take these guys and put them under her. We're going to take these guys and put them under her. Because she'll be able to lead 3 groups without a morale penalty, and he'll be able to lead 1 with a small morale penalty. But I think this will be okay. Well, actually, let's swap these out. These guys probably don't... These guys care more about the morale penalty than the hurlers do, so we'll put the hurlers up here. And we might need another one here. We'll give them both bags of wine. So this fixes some of the morale issues they're going to have and the supply issues. So the next one was Althea and his list. So Althea's province, we probably want to put these on someone else. So she is a this commander that doesn't have good leadership. And the bodyguards are good, but probably is not a good commander. Now the crystal sorceresses are not good commanders either, so I think we're going to have to figure out a different crystal thing. Okay, Crystal Priestess is what we're going to need to lead these. So... we can just give them air paths too, so that they actually kind of like work like these guys. So I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to do 347. And this is going to give them, and we're going to give them each one of these units. And then we're going to each give them a few bodyguards too, I think. They are going to be guarded each by 2 of these. As the Game Masters of Althea are. Whoops. I think we're going to spread these out with, so it's a little easier to read. Okay, so Althea's got 5 Clockwork Soldier guards. These each have 2 bodyguards of Clockwork Soldiers, and then they've each got a kind of rank of these guys. And then she has a cornucopia. We'll go ahead and give one of these guys an endless bag of wine too. And I also want to do... We're going to give these guys better magic paths. Mag, air. We're going to set it equal to 1. And then mag, astral. I set that equal to 1, and we're going to do that for both of these. Okay, so we've updated Althea. Now, his next feedback was on Aether Nomad. Has Mage Leadership 2, only 10, so -1. So add a commander or a leadership item. So Aether Nomad. So basically what I think we're going to do is the same solution we have down here for Althea, which is we're going to... we're basically going to take these guys and we're going to make them... Oops. We're going to make them priestesses and then give them the right magic paths. And this way they will have... Okay, actually we'll keep one of them as... Because I don't think I need... I think she can actually lead both. Okay, this one who's the priestess is going to be my leader. And we're actually going to go ahead and drop some more of these. Where's my add item? We're going to add a few more of these. Whoops. Okay, wait, she's got one, so we're going to have 2, which is just going to make sure these guys don't die. If you've ever noticed the armies in Throne Provinces and like Wastelands get weaker over time, it's probably because they're starving to death. Okay, so we have fixed you. This is the priestess leading the army. Okay, one thing we did... Oh, no. Althea we gave bodyguards of Clockwork Soldiers. For Aether Nomad, I think they're each going to get a bodyguard. Let's figure out who we want to get. So we just grab... We just give them crystal guards as a... You know, one thing we could do... Come here, we'll load mods. The Crystal Hegemony. Do I have you in here somewhere? Dalamantha. It's possible I deleted it. Or it was on a different computer or something. Yeah, I don't have it in here. I think we're gonna get, because this is kind of for Thalamantha, I think we're gonna do a Great Eagle as the guard for Aether Nomad. That'll be kind of cool, because Thalamantha gets these really cool eagles. So 1381. Now they're not going to jump back and attack rear, so they're more like for flavor. And then like knights come around and flank them. I mean, they'll matter some, but in all likelihood, they're going to be like HP anchors for the army. So the army will fight a little longer, and they'll be there in assassinations. So, but for like most of the battle, they're not going to like perform the job you would have a Great Eagle do, which I think is good because the Great Eagles are pretty good units. Wait, whoops. I've like completely put this in the wrong spot. Is that the right thing? Yeah. Okay, he was Magyar 4. Now these guys are going to get... We'll give them some bodyguards too. And then we'll just give them crystals on bodyguards though. I'll give them 3. Something like that. And then we just copy and paste this down here. Okay. Okay, she'll be Air 1, Astral 1, and the other two will be Air 2. I'll just make her Air 1, actually. Okay. And then the sorceresses are going to be more scary. Maybe we'll make you Astral 1. Okay, I lied. We're doing Astral and then Air. Okay, so that is that for her. We've updated that, so I think we've got rid of the problems. The next feedback he had was... Wait, let's make sure I've gotten them all. No, let's start at the top. We have done Wadestar. Yeah, we've given people to his girlfriend to command. Okay, wait, no, I haven't completely done him because he doesn't have bodyguards. We'll give him 3 Cyclops warriors. And then for his imaginary girlfriend, I don't know if this matters, but we should probably put these here. Let's give her... do 3, and then let's do... She's kind of like Yissian flavored. So she'll have some imaginary girlfriend friends. Again, mostly for flavor. But no, they can't be real. They need glamour. I think we're going to give her actually just one bodyguard, which will just be a Morvark Knight. 2915. Okay. 2915. So that's that. He actually had a little feedback on Daz too. So he said for Daz, um, 272. We put them on this guy as the leader with 40 leadership, but it was causing morale penalties for them because there's so many. So I guess we can take... He was suggesting I take these guys and put them down here since they have additional leadership. Okay, and Daz has the Berserker Pelt, so he's going to run in. Oh, oops, that's the wrong spot here. Okay, so that will get rid of the morale penalties on the Hobbits. And we've done Wadestar. We've done Althea. We've done Aether Nomad. Waywinkle. We need to give you guys a new commander. I thought the Troglodyte commander had... Does the Troglodyte commander not have good leadership? Oh, he's only 10. Okay, I guess we switch him to this. 2483. Does he have magic leadership though? No. So I guess we'll put the Earth Gnomes under Waywinkle. We'll put the Troglodytes under this guy. So he's got bodyguards. I haven't given any bodyguards to this guy, but I think we can go ahead and do that. Just give him... Give you 3 Trog bodyguards. Are they undisciplined? They may be. Maybe we give them something... I think that will work. It's possible it doesn't. Well, let's look. If I look up something like a wolf, I don't really know if the... It may just say animal. No, it says undisciplined too. So they can be an animal and not undisciplined. Okay, so these guys should be able to be bodyguards. We fixed the morale issue. And I think Waywinkle, we're going to add another item. We're going to go ahead and give you an endless bag of wine, too. Between adding a few more of these items and then also making the provinces large, I think that will take away some of the supply issues where these guys are dying. Put bodyguards in every commander that doesn't have them. We can also just add... Okay, Red Rob too. Wait, he had a comment on Red Rob. Let me scroll up. So... Yeah, Wadestar only has 20 leadership, and he is apparently leading these guys. Oh wait, no, that's up at the top. These guys are fine, yeah, because these guys are good leaders. Wait, I thought he said something about Red Rob. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. I mean, we could do... We can just add another guy. Make sure these guys have some bodyguards. Okay. And then we'll just add another one. This will be... And... we're just going to do bodyguard. We're going to each give them 2 knights, or we'll give them 3 knights as their bodyguard. Kind of like so. Change the bodyguard for you to Tower Knights. Okay. And that should work. Okay, does everybody have bodyguards? You have bodyguards, you have bodyguards. I think everybody has bodyguards. You have bodyguards, you have bodyguards. I don't want bodyguard to be the last command here. I don't know if it matters, but I'm going to be a little superstitious, or at least consistent, and put bodyguard right after the commander stuff. Okay. Coming up. Bodyguards everywhere. I think that's pretty good. I think that's good. I'm okay with this. Okay, so we're saving it. Now we need to test it. So we're going to test it. Let me pull up chat. Maybe you guys have found something before I get out of here. No, not really. Okay, so I'm going to pull up chat. We're going to close this. Not chat. I'm going to pull up the game. And we're going to start a new map with it. Okay, test. Pick any nation. Okay. I'll get Z's in case I need to do something. I think I have debug mod turned on, but if I don't... No, I do, okay. Okay, we're gonna get a few of these guys and we're gonna just send them out to ping all of the... Okay, that should be enough. Then we're gonna put one of them in each of the provinces and we are going to give them a turn or two to get there. Okay. One. Okay, they should all be there. Now we can have them all attack. Oh shit. The province numbers changed. When I added these provinces, it messed up all the province numbers. Like, Daz moved over here. We'll just see what they've got, because we're gonna... Yeah, all these things are gonna get changed. Well, we're gonna have to do it anyway again, so let's... what I'm gonna need to do now is I need to look... Look in here and see what the province numbers are and update them all. Okay, so Red Rob's torch is 176. Okay. $76. Aether's Flames is 174. Daz's is 175. Wade Stars is 177. Waywinkles is 7. And Althea's is 173. I think I've already done this one. Yeah, Waiting Star 77. Okay, so... Is it 77 or 177? 177, okay. So let's save. Exit. Close. Start you back up. That's why we gotta check these things. You get a bunch of just completely unexpected bugs. Create world. Whoops. Test. And here we go. Let's do middle-aged Calum. Okay, you're fine. I don't know why I'm picking Calum, but it's one less thing to think about, I suppose. Okay, I'll fill this up. I'll get a few of these guys. Okay, and now we send them out. Okay, everybody should be there in 2 moves. So we'll go attack these and see how they are holding up. Oh, wait. Somebody didn't go to that one. Okay, so now we're attacking all these, and we will go see what we've got inside. We want to see a few things, like, are people starving? Are the armies kind of behaving correctly? And I'm actually gonna, we'll give them actually a script for this. Which is just spam out Horde of Skeletons. Okay. First one. So, are you special? No, you're just a Cyclops Hurler. Here is a Wade Star running into combat. I don't see people starving. So that's nice. Okay, here she is with her bodyguard, her imaginary friend. So that seems to be working. Next we have this province with Althea, her buddies. These guys, their morale appears to be just fine. Yeah, that's the other thing I've got to check. I don't see any evidence of starving. And then here in Daz's Exaltation, let's see what we've got. We've got Daz, the Charmer, with his midget masher amongst all the hobbits. And Hobbit leader back here. I don't think there's signs of morale penalty. Though they're not terribly high morale units now, are they? It's probably okay. Well, Red Rob's torch, I don't think there were many issues here. Okay. Aether Flames. Morale seems to be fine. I don't see any evidence of starvation. Cool. Wax of Waywinkle. These guys got very high morale. That's a scary province. You don't walk in here unless you're bringing some pretty heavy infantry. Or not infantry, but just weapons. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think we've done it. We've updated it. I'll actually, well, no. I'll go ahead and put this up on the platform on Workshop right about now, and then I'll also put it on G Drive. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.